I'm going to let you know about a new law that just passed. $500 a day. If you don't pay it, 2 years in prison. Why would you get any tax breaks? You didn't do anything. In all honesty, it should piss you off. What's difficult is having patience. You're not going to just give it to them because you don't know them. They're going to look at you like you crazy. Why? Because this is Brandon J. We back with another episode of the More Action Podcast. Today's episode is strictly about planting seeds and building relationships. When I make videos like this, it looks easy. It sounds easy, the things we're talking about. But in reality, it's going to take time. You know, it may be easy. It isn't hard to file some paperwork or apply for a card or a loan. Those things aren't difficult. What's difficult is having patience. What's difficult is having a vision that you won't see in reality for a whole year. Some people do things faster than others. But the point I'm making is you got to be patient. Time is going to be your best friend. You know, when you put time in on something, the return is even greater. Okay, I don't want anybody out here thinking if I'm going to create a business, I'm going to do it and be making money with that business in a month. Not everybody is going to start a business and start making money in the first month. Nobody is going to raise their credit score as much as they want to in 1 month. You might raise it a little bit. You might make a little money, but you got to give things time. Let's talk about banks, for example. I've been telling people, go get credit, go apply for credit, get your credit score up so you can get more credit. Let's say a stranger walked up to you and said, can I borrow $10? You gonna think about that shit for a little bit. You're not gonna just give it to them because you don't know them. And then you don't know what they're gonna do with that money. You don't know if they're gonna pay you back. But if your friend from middle school who has borrowed money from you before, you lent my man $20 2 months ago and he paid you back the next day, he comes up to you and says, let me borrow 10. No problem. You got $10 cash on your pocket. You give it to him right away because you know you're gonna get your money back. You trust this person. Banks are no different. So if you go to a bank and say, hey, can I get a credit card for my business? Not even for me. Not even me as a person. I want a credit card for my business. They're going to look at you like you crazy. Why? Because you have no relationship. You don't even have a checking account. You don't even have a savings account. And you want a whole business credit card? Are you serious? Now, some people get approved for these business credit cards because it's in the bank's best interest to loan out money. We know why. If you don't, go check out some other videos I made, okay? Because I talk about this shit every week. The point is, the bank might give you some money. They might. But the limit ain't going to be crazy. It's going to be like a little 5,000 limit. It's for the business, you know? So they'll give you some money. But if you want that $20,000, $30,000 limit on the business side, maybe you should plant some seeds, okay? And what I mean by that is go to the bank with $100 in your pocket. Start a checking account. It's free. Start a savings account with them. It's free. You know what the banks are going to do as soon as you give them that money. They're going to take it and do what with it? Make some money. An average person in their lifetime will spend $131,000 in interest. Student loans, mortgage, credit card. The banks can't win if you don't pay interest. That's all I'm trying to do. Tell everybody that you can avoid interest. And if you don't give them anything to work with, they don't like you. They want people putting money in their bank so they can use that money to go make money. If you just start a bank account and put nothing in it, you're not helping them, okay? It's just like the government. If you do the government's job for them, they give you tax breaks. If you help the bank make money, they'll loan you more. It's just that simple. You don't need to come up with this incredible business plan and take it to the bank and say, my business is going to make $1 million. Loan me the money based off of my plan. No. Because they don't trust you anyway. You have the best plan in the world, but they don't fucking know you. So if you have a checking account, savings account, maybe start a business checking account, you put $50 into each one. Let it sit 3 months, 6 months, then go back and say, hey, not doing too well on my own, I need some business credit. They're going to look at your profile and they're going to say, this man got a checking account with us. He got a savings account with us, a business checking with us. Good guy. It's a good guy. Let's give him a chance. Okay? I know what you're thinking. $50. What is $50 going to do for the bank? It's going to start a fucking relationship. Put 5,000 in. That's even better. The more money you put inside of the bank account, the better. You're not hurting nobody. You already know what they're doing with it. They're putting it in and out of the stock market and make more money off the money you lent them. So just let them do it. Join their team. And the way you join a bank's team is by getting their products, which are bank accounts. Let's talk about the government for a second. The government's job is to create jobs and housing. So if you get into real estate or start a business, you're doing the government's job for them. So now, what does that mean for you? You're going to get rewarded by paying less taxes. At the end of the year, your tax return is going to look way different than, us W-2 earners. When you work a job and make money through a W-2, you're paying at least 30% in taxes because you're not doing anything for the government. They actually had to do something for you, and you took it. They created a job because somebody started a business. If you're working right now a W-2 job, it's because somebody out there started a business and you didn't do anything but join their team. So when you started working for a business, why would you get any tax breaks? You didn't do anything. You didn't create a job. You didn't provide housing. You just jumped into a job that someone else created. So that way you could go provide a house for yourself. The government asked you to provide housing for other people, to create jobs for other people. So your boss, depending on how big the business is, the percentage of tax he's paying it varies. But the point is, he's paying less than you. If you go start a business, an LLC, for example, you're only going to be paying around 15% in tax. Keep in mind, that's only on the money you made profit. Let's say you make some profit and invest it. You make some profit and put it into another business. You are now turning what was profit, which was taxable income, into non-taxable income. When you put money into certain things, you don't have to pay taxes on it. That's why people who buy a whole bunch of real estate, they don't have to pay that many taxes because the money they made is now non-taxable because it's inside of a house instead of the bank in their personal name. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to explain this more in depth in other videos, but the point I'm trying to make is that you need to start planting seeds. Start an LLC. Just start a side hustle. But I'm already working. Look, if somebody will pay you from 9 to 5 to do whatever it is that you're doing, somebody else will pay you from 5 to 9. Just start a side hustle. Everybody gets mad at people when they avoid paying taxes, but you can do the same thing. If you don't pay taxes, you technically make more money. Think about it. All year long, when you as a W-2 earner get paid, they're taking taxes out of your check already. And then you go file your taxes. Okay? And you get this big old tax return. And everybody's like, oh my God, I got all this money that just came back. When you get a tax return, in all honesty, it should piss you off. Because the money that you just received, you could have had it the whole year. You could have had access to it the whole year. But no, because you weren't doing the government's job for them, they took it from you. And they said, since you don't know what to do with this money, we're going to do what we think is best with the money, which is create jobs, build roads and houses for people, because that's the government's job. If you do the government's job for them, they're going to let you pay less taxes, which means you have access to more money. It's that simple. And yes, just like any other person, you're paying taxes on everyday items and dinner and purchases. But at the end of the year, if those purchases were ordinary and necessary for the business, you're now going to get that money back. Don't pay as much taxes when you do the government's job for them. When you just go get a job, you're going to pay the most taxes. Period. Now, for those of you that have watched this video all the way through, I'm going to let you know about a new law that just passed. People who own an LLC, if you started one last year, you have until December 31st to fill out this BOI. But once you fill this out, it basically says that you are the rightful owner of said LLC. So I have Brandon J Services LLC. If I do not fill out this BOI paperwork before December 31st this year, I will get fined $500 a day to $10,000. And if I don't pay that, it's 2 years in prison. Now that's just for me because I started an LLC last year. If you started an LLC before 2024, you have until December 31st, 2024 to fill out this paperwork. Look it up, do your own research. Now, if you just started an LLC, you, after that LLC is approved, have 30 days. Now, so if you start your LLC and figure out how to fill out this BOI paperwork that says you are the rightful owner of that LLC, because if you don't, $500 a day, up to $10,000 in penalties. If you don't pay it, 2 years in prison. I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. It's another week, another episode. And my name's Brandon J. It's the More Action Podcast. And until next week, do your best to be great. That's all I got.